Okay, good morning, students. So, today here I am going to teach to standard 9. Subject is geography, and the chapter is landforms of the earth, that is chapter 5. Now, in this particular chapter, we are going to study regarding what is a landform, what are the causes of landform development, and various kinds of landforms, that is mountain, plateaus, and plains. Now let's start with what is a landform. A landform is a natural feature of the earth's surface. It may be mountain, plateaus, or plains. So anything, it can be a mountain or a plateau or a plain. It can be any kind of a relief feature on the earth's surface. Now there are various causes which led to the development of various landforms. Amongst them, we have the first one, that is plate tectonics. Second is uplift and submergence, which includes orogenic and epiorogenic movement. Now these kind of forces are internal forces which is acting on the earth and producing the landform. And exogenic forces, these are the forces which are external in nature, which helps in the formation of various landforms. Now let's get into the detail of these. As you can see, the first one is plate tectonics. The plate tectonic means that the lithosphere is broken into several small and big plates. Now these are in the semi-molten state in the asthenosphere, which is a part of the structure of the earth. You know that inside the earth, the horizontal movement of the plate is very slow, thus results in disturbance in the sedimentary rock deposits which are lying below the plates. Now these rocks, when they collide against each other, or the sedimentary rocks, when they are compressed, forced, these compression against each other is cause folding of the rocks, and all the 4 mountain ranges of the world have been formed by the folding of the sedimentary rock or folding of the earth's crust. Like anything, like if I can say like this is folding, this is the above one is the mountain. This is how the 4 mountains are formed, and the process is called the orogenic movement. The forces responsible for the formation of 4 mountain is called orogenic movements. The orogenic word has been derived from the Greek word meaning mountain building period. These forces act as a tangent on them. You can see here there are forces causing landforms on the surface of the earth. As I explained you, there are 2 forces. One is endogenic forces, one is exogenic forces. Endogenic forces are those forces which act internally inside the earth crust, and exogenic forces, the external process which happens on the earth crust. Endogenic forces includes the epiorogenic and orogenic movement, which together is known as diastrophic movement, which is a large scale force. Now it includes epiorogenic continent building, orogenic mountain building. Epiorogenic will make the landforms such as block mountain basins, rift valleys and plains, and orogenic, which is now only explained in plate tectonics, the mountain building phase. Here you will find fold mountains, various fault, plateaus and landforms. Then external forces, we have alluvial plains, erosional plains, valleys and glacial landforms. Let's look into the next one, that is the uplift and submersion, which is another one of the causes of landform development. Now these are vertical movements. They are known as epiorogenic movements or continent building movements. Such movements are the result of faulting or the crack on the earth's surface. Block mountains, basin, rift valleys are produced by epiorogenic movement. Now these orogenic and epiorogenic movement together is known as diastrophic forces originating deep inside the earth, and they act horizontally and vertically to produce the relief features such as mountain, plateaus and plains. Then we have exogenic forces. The exogenic forces are called the external forces. They are destructive forces because they cause widespread destruction through weathering and erosion existing landforms. Then we have various types of landforms. We have mountain, Okay, now various types of mountains are there. We have fold mountains, we have residual mountain, and we have the block mountain. As you can see here, the mountains, a very definition is a very steep land or a hill rising to great heights above the land. Okay, we have three main types of mountains: fold mountain, residual mountain, and block mountain. Fold mountains can be old fold mountains and young fold mountains. So fold mountains are basically formed because of the compression of the earth's crust, a large scale stress which is caused on the earth's crust. Such stresses may be caused by weight of overlying rocks, movement in the mantle, the expansion and contraction of some part of it. Then if you look into the physical map, we have the fold mountains like Ains, Alps, Zagros, Himalayas in India is the fold mountain. And fold mountains have various characteristic features. They form irregular wave-like formation. Most of they have anticline and syncline. The upfold of the rock is called, you can see here, the upfold is called anticline and the downfold is called the syncline. Here you can see. Okay, now most of these mountains are constituent of sedimentary rock. Then we have fold mountains have greater length. Most fold mountains except the Himalayas are found in the margin of the continents. Fold mountains are associated in most of the volcanic activity and hence many volcanoes you will find here. They have various parallel ranges and inside that we have the intermountain plateaus also formed in these fold mountains. So there is also the difference given between the young fold mountain and the old fold mountain. The young fold mountains are recently formed mountain and old fold mountains are formed long years back. Himalayas in India is an example. Aravallis is the old fold mountains is an example. Now, what are the features here? Young fold mountain, they have steep slope, deep valley, sharp pointed, snow covered. And old fold mountain, because they are subjected to denudation for a longer period of time, their height is low, altitude is low, and they have a gentle slope, rounded shape, etc. They are lower than the young fold mountains, and the young fold mountains are higher than the old fold mountains. Volcanic activities are common in young fold mountains and there are evidence of volcanic activities still in the old fold mountain. The second one is called the residual mountains. Residual is means a residue, leftover. Mountains which are subjected to weathering. Weathering, erosion, when there is a breaking of any kind of a parent rock, whatever the residue is being deposited through which the residual mountain has been formed. The mountains which are subjected to weathering and erosion for a long time are lowered down and the residual or a relict mountain is formed. Now because of that we have the denudation and erosion by natural agents like it can be wind, water, snow, etc. They may also be formed on plateaus that are dissected by rivers. For example, the hills and valleys in the Deccan Plateau region. Then various examples are here of residual mountains are Nilgiri, Prasnath, Rajmal Hills in India and Catskill Range in USA. You can see the formation of the residual mountain. Then we have the next one, the third part of the mountain, that is a block mountain, which is forced by faulting known as epiorigination movement lead to the formation of the block mountain. Let's get into the detail of this. Due to tensional forces, cracks or fault, block mountains, flattened summits are called horst. You can see here the Rift Valley being formed because it is in the block mountain itself. The block mountains which are flattened summit is called a horst. You can see here. It is having a flattened summit. It is called a horst. And those have a tilted summits have one side and other side very gentle. Block mountains are often separated by intervening basin that is called graben. Again, that is a Rift Valley. The Rift Valley is called a graben. So two block mountains are separated by graben or a Rift Valley. If there are two parallel faults, the valley floor may sink and Rift Valley may be formed. The most extensive system example is African Rift Valley. The second part of the landform is the plateau. Plateau is defined as an area of high ground 500 meters above the ground level. These unplanned have steep slope on the one side, the upper part generally flat and is called the tableland. So two types of plateaus we have, one is called intermountain plateau, one is called volcanic plateau. Intermountain plateau is the highest and most extensive types The plateaus surrounded by hills and mountains are called intermontane plateau, example Tibetan plateau. Volcanic plateaus are basically formed because of the volcanic activity by eruption that slowly build up over the time, forming a plateau. Peninsular Deccan Plateau region in India is an example of the volcanic activity, and that is a volcanic plateau. When the volcano erupts, the lava sheets they get piled one over the another, forming a plateau region. Then we have plains. Two types, we have structural and depositional plains. Now what is plains? A plain is defined as an extensive area, lowland with a level or a gently undulating surface. Structural plains are there. These plains are formed due to the uplift or subsidence of land. Diastrophic forces, what does it include? Epiorogenic and orogenic forces may cause uplift of portion land beneath the ocean water or may cause submergence of coastal land. This is called the structural plain. Example, the Great Plains of USA were formed due to the upliftment of this. Then we have depositional plains. Depositional plains, the deposits which are brought down by the various rivers. It can be by wind deposition or marine deposition. River deposition, the alluvial deposits, the most widespread in the alluvial plain, like that in the northern plains of India, the flood plains like Mississippi, etc. At the foothills of mountains are formed the predominant alluvial plains. The flood plains described as alluvial plain, they are found along the rivers in India like Brahmaputra, Indus and the Ganga. In India, flood plains are divided into Khadar plains and Bhagar plains. Khadar plains, two types of alluvial soil actually is there, that is Khadar and Bhangar. Khadar is newer alluvium, Bhangar is older alluvium. Accordingly, the plains have been bifurcated. Wind deposition, most of such plains are sandy deserts like Sahara and the Thar desert in India. They have irregular undulating surface by existence of sand dunes. Then marine deposits, these are found in the coastal regions, east coast of India, estuaries, banks and Netherlands, etc. You can see the chart here of the landform, mountain, plateaus and plains. And very important, the last part that we have is called the importance of landforms. They are the source of various energy. Mountain, plateaus, plains and valleys, they act as a beautiful sculptures of the earth crust and adds to the beauty of the earth. They represent the various relief features of the earth. They restrict and have a great impact upon the climate, direction of winds and precipitation of the atmospheric pressure of the particular area. Mountain ranges of the world are the abode of snow and glacier and act as a source of perennial rivers. Many kind of forests you will find here. Relief features also exist in the form of ocean, island and coastal region for fishing sites. Major landforms are created disturbance and resulting from the forces operating in the interior of the earth. Most internal mineral and fossil fuels come to the source of the earth due to the various disturbance. This is all about the chapter that is the landform of the earth. I think you have understood well. Thank you.